So here we are, February 9th, 2/10/01 digital imaging, and I'm recording and I'm asking people to make presentations so we can work through their problems. And we've gone through a couple of them problems and solved them, but now I hope to solve some more so we can, because this is a way to teach, is to teach through the students, and it's much more fun to do that than me just yapping. So who wants to volunteer to do this next? All right, Lily, you're next, and I want to get through everybody so everybody has an opportunity to ask questions, because that's my goal here, is to, I got to stop my share. Make a co-host. There we go.
Okay. All right, so this is my, I did flatten it, so it only does have the one layer.
All right, so let's look at your channels. Let's look at the eyeball. Okay, let's take that RGB eyeball off. So there's your channels, and you know that you made that a selection, and you hit through the top layer, right?
Yeah.
And then let's look at RGB put together. And take the eyeball off the channel, so because that amberlith is the color of the mask called first. And so you had two layers, one of them on top of another, and you went select load selection and you hit delete, and it came up with that beautiful image, right?
Yeah.
And you do understand that in the future, you're going to save on your computer your layered files labeled PSD, and you're going to submit, and you're going to save that as a PSD file with a name on it. And you can, then you're going to flatten the file and save it as a JPEG. And then that's what comes to me. These are just the tutorials, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And because you have a file called PSD on your computer, you know that it has got layers on it. And because you have a file called JPEG, you know that's flat and ready to send. So when I or any future client of yours says, I don't like that color blue, change it, you have the layered file, PSD, to refer back to. And I know I've already said this, but I'm saying this for the recording as well.
Yeah.
Okay, when you do the projects, which is coming up today, I hope, you're going to save the file for yourself as a layered file on your own computer. And then when you're done with the project, you're going to submit it, and with the naming convention of your name, RGB, that's red, green, blue, 150 DPI, that's a resolution, and PSD, that'll say, and you don't flatten, that'll mean that they have layers on it. So that'll be in the Dropbox, and then you'll take that same file that's on your computer, you'll flatten it, save it as a JPEG, and send it to me, and that'll be what I keep is because I don't want all of your layered files. I can access that in the Dropbox. I don't need a duplicate. I need a small file that says yes, tells me that you've done it and you submitted it, and then I email you back, I received tutorial 1, like you got, right? Everybody understands that's our process. I've sent you the instructions in words, and on there I've said it twice in words. Okay. Do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm all good, if that looks right to you.
Well, do you like the looks of it? That looks right. Technically,
Yeah.
Technically it looks right. Yes.
Okay. Okay,
All right. Good job.
good. All right, thank you.
All right, let's see. Let's go to someone else here.
I have a question. When you save it as a JPEG and then also as a PSD, is it?
Yeah.
Is it like saving two like files?
Yes.
Basically?
Yes,
Okay.
that's the intention. And if you don't change the name, just changing that suffix will make it a separate file. Just making it a JPEG because it's a different name. And that's what I get on the tutorials, right?
The JPEG.
The JPEG. On the projects, I get a JPEG, but you also got to submit it to the Dropbox, the layered, so I can go and see what we're doing right now, that you understand the techniques, because we're going to be learning a whole bunch of stuff, and it's more than just this, selection mask thing. So who wants to show us now something else? Somebody else want to volunteer? All right, Maya. Oh, I got to stop the share. Oh, I should have done that. Let me see. All right, you're on.
I also only have, I think I've never done this before, but in the tutorial, I think you showed how to flatten it. So I think that's why everyone has only one
Yeah, that's too
background.
bad because I can't do what I want to do because it's flattened. But interesting image. Let's look at your channels. Put the eyeball on the mask. Click the eyeball off the RGB. All right. So tell us what you did.
Well, I forgot how to do it all at once, so I did the squares like individually, one by one.
So do you know how to do it all at once?
Now I do, yeah.
Now you do. So you don't have to do it to demonstrate it. Now you do, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good. So so did you do 2 layers?
Yeah, I did 2 layers, but then when I flattened it, it became one.
All right, so go hit the RGB on and click the eyeball off the mask. All right, so good job. Yay.
Thanks.
Yeah, any other questions?
No, I don't think so.
You got everything. You understand everything so far?
Mhm.
All right, good job. Yay. Let's go to somebody else. Marwa, you want to show us what your work is?
Yeah, sure. I had a lot of confusion.
Yeah, I know that. I saw your what you submitted and it looked really different.
Yeah.
So let's go there and see what we can do here.
Okay. Can you see?
Okay, we can see. So we want to have the layers. Now, what you've got going on there, just so everybody knows, see that grid she's got going on. So go over to view, up to view.
Mm-hmm.
No, view, show, down to show. Because there's grids by default. And see that grid by default. So you can use the grid. So click that off. All right. So now that grid that you had on is also, you can customize it in preferences. So you can make it bigger, smaller. It's up to you. But we're trying to do so everybody knows what this default grid is. And again, you can customize that, or you can make your own grid. And I want to make sure, hit your V key. V. V. There, you just V.
Oh, V.
V. V. It's
I'm
not
not working on Mac,
huh?
so some controls might be a little different.
I can't hear you.
I'm not working on a Mac keyboard,
Oh,
so my controls might be different.
all right, then go up and click on your move tool. Top of the toolbox. Top of the toolbox. Very top. That is the V key on a Mac. And you don't have to learn all these keystrokes. I don't know, it's on your test, but I'll have to figure that out later. You always want to be in your move tool when you're not doing anything specific, because you could like do something that you're not sure about, except for move it. You just moved it. So you can go Command Z or Control Z and unmove it. History. Well, that's a history. That works as well. But one undo is Control Z. Click on the history then. Click on that button. And there's all your histories. There's the histories on that. And you can click up one click. There, you did it. So you put the move, So that is under that button, but it's also under window histories. So everybody else, so you don't have to worry about those buttons. You can go up, you can close that down. And if you go to window, you see histories, and that palette will show up, and then you can do undos. But you have undos with Command or Control Z will undo as well. Anyway, let's get back to your image. Let's show the channels palette. You want to see that at all times. Pick that up, move it off out of the stack there.
How do you?
Just
How do you do
grab the word channels and drag. There. So now you're floating around there. So we got some issues here because you don't have a mask at all. All you've done is paint these little images on. Now we want to show the layers as well.
Oh, I had already flattened the image before submitting. I have a screenshot, but I didn't even make it.
It's hard to hear. What did you do?
I had already flattened the image beforehand.
All right, so let's go look. I got to see the layers. Got to look at the layers at all times. The layer, not down there. No, in the palette. See where it says path, layers. Click on the layer button.
Mhm.
All right, now pull that out of there too, just for emphasis. Pull that out. Those palettes windows have to be visible at all times when you're using this program, because it's like the dashboard of a car. You have to have the layers, you have to have the channels, you have to have the tools, and you have to have that options bar at the top. And those are all under Windows, and they got to be on the screen at all times. Everything else can go away, but you got to have this visible at all times. And I see you have 2 layers above the bottom layer. So let's just, you want to click on those eyeballs just so everybody can see what's going on. The 2 layers above, just to get an idea. All right, that's your image on the bottom layer. Go up and click the 2 eyeballs on again, and flatten the image. Go to the fly out, layer. Well, you could do it there too. Flatten image, somewhere in there. I never use this. It's all the way to the bottom. I do it quicker by going to the layers palette. Down, down, down. Flatten image. All right, now it's flat. Now duplicate that image.
From here?
Yeah. Background copy. Okay. Now go image, adjustment, invert, down. That's Control I on your computer. Invert. All right, edit, transform. Edit from the top. Those are all your main opportunities to do things. Everything's buried in here. Transform, flip vertically or horizontally, down the bottom. So now you got basically 2 different images. Now we want to make a grid, but you have chosen to use your default grid, so let's use it. It'll be easier. You know how to make a grid. You know how to pull guides out of the rulers.
No.
Pull one out. Go to the ruler. Go inside the rule. Command R or Control R. Yeah. Click, drag. There we go. There's a guide, right? There, you see that? And on the vertical ruler, you can do the same thing. Now, this is going to take a few minutes to do this. Well, we can pretend. Let's pretend. Do a vertical one. Just go to the vertical guide. I can't see it. You're. There we go. Pull one out. Pull a couple more out. Okay. Okay, close enough. Good enough. So now go make a selection. Go to your rectangular selection tool. Up to the top. No, it's a dotted line. That is an object selection tool. That is an area selection tool. So that's what it does, that little note there. make a selection on your, make a selection on your artwork. All right, go select, save selection. Up to the top, up to the top. Okay, that will save, that'll do it too. That's right click. Now name it something. It doesn't matter. Give it a name. If the cursor's going on, just, no, then put in where it says name. Oh, you got a channel, new channel. So, okay, good. Something, okay, good. Go, okay. And there you have saved that. Go Command D, Control D. Put the eyeball on something. There, that's what you've done, right? All right, go select, make another selection. Select, save selection. No, not a new channel. Go to, no, don't make a new channel. Choose from the channels palette something. Add the channel. Okay, click. There. Now you've added, you cut another square in this mask. It's empty. So go select, load selection. Leave it, select, load selection. Choose channel something. Go to the channels up there, click, hold, something. Add the channel, not new selection, add the channel. We want to add to what's existing. Okay. There we got two selections going on. Now go to you're in your selections tool. Don't be in the move tool, be in the selections tool. Move those selections. You're in the selection tool. Don't, yeah, just move those selections. Anywhere. Of course, in your next project, you're going to try to align to the grid, but that's fine. We can do it there. Doesn't matter. Select, save selection. What is the name of the selection? Something. You got a channel, pick something. You're going to add to it. Add a channel. Okay. There, right? So let's go, let's do this. Let's go and move those selections again. Good enough. Now make sure that you're engaged in the something channel, which you're not. You see it's not light gray. You want to be engaged in it, so you're working on that. Now you're working on that channel. Now hit delete.
Delete the something channel?
Yeah, you're on that mask. Hit delete. No, don't delete the mask. Just delete on the screen. You got your selections engaged on the mask. Hit delete. You're going to cut a hole in the mask. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So now you could go select, load selection. I'm kind of just giving you different, well, you can do that. You want to let it go and hit delete. Hit delete.
Oh, okay.
Okay, go Command D, Control D. No, don't do it that way. I'm trying to get you to go quicker. I'm advancing your skill sets here. Select, load selection. Something. New selection, yes. Something, okay. All right, now everything is selected. Move everything at once. Good enough. I don't care where it is right now. Hit delete. There, you cut holes in all of that, right? You understand it? You understand it? Yes, okay. Command D or Control D. We don't want to be engaged in the mask now. We want to be engaged in the RGB composite. So go to your channels, click. Note that orange background layer turned to a light gray, which means you're engaged on that top layer, and you're looking at the eyeball of the mask something. We don't need to look at that eyeball now. So, because we're done with the mask. The mask is not something that is printed or even included in the image. It's a device that's off to the side like a tag paper stencil, and you only pick it up, bring it over, and put it down on your artwork and paint through it or do a couple other things. So now we're going to go, and you've got two layers. We're going to be on a top layer. You're going to go select, load selection, select, load selection, and you're going to pick something. Now something, okay, something is a selection. Okay. There it is. Now, before you do anything, you see that cursor that has an, oh, you see that crosshair? That means that's not the select. Oh, that means that's the selection. It's got an arrow and it got a little dot. So you have to know that because it's very easy to forget which is a selection, what isn't. So you got to be in one of the selection tools and always check it so you know what is the selection. So you know when you hit delete, it's going to cut a hole right there. Go ahead, hit delete. Yay! Command D. There's your masterpiece. Yay! Control D. And you can deselect a selection just by clicking off of it as well, but I always go Control or Command D. And there it is. And if you want to not see the guides don't print, Control colon, semicolon. Does that work for you? Well, there's a keystroke that's there. You can go to View Hide Guides. That'll do it as well. View Hide Guides. View, Show, down. I think it's under Show. Guides. Click that. It's Control plus colon. See that keystroke? There's your keystroke. It's 3. It's not only on a Mac, it's 2. The one below it, let it go there. That hit it. But you got to, if you want to know what that keystroke is, you got to go look at it. It's Control something. It's different than on a Mac. And so I'm going to be giving all these keystrokes out, and you have to be able to figure them out yourself. You know what I mean? And before I get to test, I'm going to come to you and make sure you get to test with the correct keystrokes. Because we're all the rest of us using Macs. Do you understand what's going on now?
Yes.
Is everything okay? So, because you got it, right?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
was confused because I didn't know how to select, but yeah.
You got it now. Good deal. So you don't have to send this back to me. You got credit for it because we were able to solve the issues that you had, right? All right, good. So let's go to somebody else. So is there anybody else out there that wants to have any problem solved? Going once? Going twice? Is there anybody else that wants to have me a one-on-one with moi? No. Okay. So then what you should do is submit, if you haven't submitted the project and got a reply from me that the submission has been SC, you have not submitted.
I didn't realize that it was due today, but I'll do it right after class and send it to you tonight.
All right, look at your syllabus. I'm trying to go by the syllabus, so you'll always know when things are due by the syllabus. I'm not making anything up. It's going by the syllabus, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, now do you know what to do? Do you have any questions?
I know what to do. I've done something similar to this before.
Okay, good. All right, look into the syllabus, then we're past that. That's good. That's good. Yay. Vegetable head. All right. So stop share. All right. Screen share. My screen share. I'm going to do the next tutorial, and it is the vegetable head. Here's the end. That's what we're doing. Some variation on that. And here's the start. So here I'm giving you instructions for what is due next week. And I'm going to go through this and talk about things that we've already talked about and add to them. And it's always, you always have to do something more than once to understand it. So here's this file. You have this file. It is start01 PSD. And I got my channels, and I got my window layers. And by the way, this, because everything is light grays, because I set it that way, and that's all of that is over here. Where is it? It's in preferences. So you can change your look of your, this is what it is. Interface. You can change the look of this. If you don't like the dark, you can make it lighter or not. It's up to you. I like it lighter because I think I can see the stuff better. That's the only reason. All right, so there's my layers, channels on all times, toolbox, all times going on. The keystroke for the rulers is Command R. To make it closer, I'm going to Option key. And what I want to do is I want to talk about these selection tools by area. These are selection tools by area. I want to make selections of all of these using just exploring these tools. That, and you should as well, so you know what these tools do. And these are selections by this is by color, quick selection tool by color, magic wand tool by color. And that object tool is just arrived a couple of years ago in Photoshop, and it's fabulous. It's almost like you're cheating. So I'm not going to cheat right off, but then I will in a minute, like 3 minutes from now, and I'll show you what I mean. So the first thing I want to do, this is on that gourd is on a background, and I want to make a selection of that. Now that's not going to do it because I'm going to pick that white up. I want to isolate it. So I can do this and go to the lasso tool, and this is going to be very awkward because I can't work it very well with the mouse. So I want to go by color because these are all by area. This is by color. So I can go to the quick selection tool. Now this quick selection tool works with the, by the way, there's these buttons on the top of all these tools, and that's the default right there. No tool, oh, that one's the default. That's the presets. That's the default. And there's 3, add, subtract. You can do this by keystroke or by these buttons. I use a keystroke. This particular tool, the quick selection tool, works by brush size. So if I got a big brush and I come over here and go click, by default, I had this big brush. Of course, you should know how these brushes work now because we did the painting tutorial. I go click. There, I picked that, made that selection perfect in one click because my brush was big. I'm going to go by my keyboard, the brackets, I'm going to make the brush small. I'll make it real small. And by the way, oh, this, I got to do this with the keyboard. All right, anyway, here we go. Click. You see that didn't select the whole gourd. That's because the brush was small. I'm going to make the brush bigger by the brackets and click. There, I made the entire selection. So that's great. That works really well. Command D. Let's try this other one out. The magic wand tool. Now there's the default. That adds to, that subtracts. And this works on tolerance, and that tolerance means color. If I go to my color picker and go 255, that would be completely 100% white. Well, that would be the highest number, and that would pick everything on the screen. What I want to do is say, I want to go from that color to this color. What is the tolerance? I don't know. So I've got to try and guess. So click, it's not that. So I can go shift, that is that button right there, and add to it. Or I can go to the tolerance and make it more. Oh, make it more than that. Well, let's make it 60. Command D, see what happens. And there's shift. Oh, but it's taking this, it's taking every color that's similar to this all around the image. That's a problem. How do I solve that? Well, this is how you solve that. You got to have that contiguous button selected. That contiguous button in the Magic Wand tool, the contiguous button means that only like pixels next to each other will be selected. Command D, I'll do that again. Shift, click, there, I got the gourd. Little edge here, I could get that as well. But there at tolerance 60 with the contiguous button selected, and the contiguous button again means the pixels next to each other. If I have that clicked off, Command D, and select this, it picks everything, which is not what I want. So Command D, I'm gonna hit the contiguous, click it again, and I understand I'm saying everything over and over again, and I can get those edges. And now I want to make that gourd a layer. I want to go Command J, but I want to show you the magic tool here, even more magic than the Magic Wand, which is this quick selection tool. And this works only with sharp edges, which is lots of things. So I'm just gonna make a marquee around it, and it thinks, and then it makes that selection because it identifies the edge, contrast and the edges. Unbelievable. How easy is that? That really solves lots of problems that used to take a little more technique, which I just showed you, by the way, in the past. Now you can just go like that and select that object. But if you're in the fog, this is not going to work, and you'll have to use another kind of tool if the transitions are not abrupt. So I want to go Command J is the keystroke, and I have always used Command J, but there is layers. There is a new. Why I can't find it is because I don't use it. There it is. That keystroke, Command J, layer by copy. So there you go. If you want to find that, it's kind of buried. So it's easy to learn that keystroke. I don't know what it is on the PC, but you can look it up. How do you make a layer? How do you make a copy by a keystroke? There it is. That's a new layer. Command J. There's the gourd on a new layer, but I also have the gourd below it. I'm not looking at that layer. I'm going to go back to the background layer because I don't want that there. So I'm going to go to my selection marquee and make sure my foreground background color are default black and white because this is white. I can see. I'll make a selection of that on the background layer just so I don't have duplicate gourds. And I'll go Edit, Fill, Background Layer, or Command Delete. Edit, Fill, Background Color, White, 100%, OK. Command D, deselects the selection. There is the gourd. Beautiful. So let's go and do something else now. Let's go and get an eyeball. And I think I can go pretty fast with this because it's recording and you can go slower. I always in class, I go really slow. I slow down and I do it slow. Everybody gets it, but I don't have to do that here because I'm recording. So I'm gonna go faster. I went to my circular marquee tool and I went Option, and the option pulls it from the center. If I don't do that, Command D, I see where I can't get that. I got to go over here and move it over like that and guess at it, Command D. So if I don't know I can pull from the center, I'll hold my Option key down. And if I want to make that a perfect circle, I can have my Option key down and also hold my Shift key down, and now it's a perfect circle. And I can go and make that really work perfectly. And if you want to make sure that it works, I can always go and move it with one pixel at a time. You can see it moving one pixel at a time. That is the key, the arrows on my keyboard. I got to be on the background layer. I got to check where I'm at on my layers because this could get confusing. Now I'm going to go Command J. Command 0 will put me back into the window. V gives me the move tool, and then I move this over, and whoop, disappears. It disappears. It's because it's underneath. So I got to go over to the layers and reverse the order by taking up the squash head and moving it down. There is one pupil, and I'm going to come up close, and I'm going to, this is space bar for the hand. I'm going to go Option, drag, and there I have two. Look, I have two new layers because I hit Option, drag. I can go do that by going over here and go duplicate layer. Delete the layer number 2. No. I want to go, this right click, duplicate. I got hit the wrong button. Layer 2, copy. It was much easier to go Option, drag, but that does the same thing. And I can go and now I got to move this. There we go. And if I hold my Shift key down, Shift, click, and I go merge layers, because I'm going to get a bunch of layers going on. Merge layers, and I can click on the words, and I can say eye or pupil. Pupil. All right, that's good enough. All right, Command 0. I want to get the caret. So I'm going to do the same thing. Good to practice. Click, Option from the center. Hold the Shift key down at the same time. And I'm a little bit off because I didn't get the center. So I'm going to go to my arrows and move that in. I'm on the wrong layer. I'm on the pupil layer. So I got to go to the background layer. Click on it. Got to check, make sure you're on your layers. That's why the layers got to be out. Go, what's the command? Command J is the command. And there I have it here. Go Command 0, that puts it back into the window. Hit V, that's a move tool. Move my caret, and whoops, it's behind it. And we know why it's behind it, because the head's got to go below it. So there's one eyeball, and I can go, do I want to do it up here? All of this stuff, layer stuff is up here too, but why not do it over here because it's easier? Or I can go like this, I can grab it here and just put it on that plus, and that copies it as well. So now I can go and move it over. So I did that like 3 different times, and I can go Shift, select those two, go to Layer, merge layers, and name that one eyeball. So I can name my layers. When you get a whole bunch of layers, sometimes you want to do that. I don't necessarily have to do that, but I want to do that. So now we've got those two taken care of. Now we're going to go to the nose. And I'm going to go to, how am I going to do this nose? Well, I can go the lasso tool, and I can go like this. That's not very good. So, but I can go and hold my Shift key down and make it better. That's adding to it. Hold my Option key down, that's subtracting to it. Make it better. That's these buttons up here. You can see, if you look, you'll see, hold my Shift key, you see it automatically goes to that button, because I don't have to hold my Shift key down. I could just go to that button. I could do that, Option key down. See, now I can make this much better. And there's a better way to do this, but we're exploring these tools. That's the whole idea, and I want you to do it this way so we get a feel for all these tools that we're exploring. And then later on, you'll decide, I like this way better, and you'll be off on your own, customizing this program to your usage, not mine. So there I got that background layer selected. Go Command J, I make that its own layer. I'll go Command 0, V, move tool, move the nose over the nose, put the nose in front of the face, shift the layers, there's the nose. And I can, if I want to customize this a little bit, I'm gonna go, whoops, I'm on the squash, so I'm actually making this, that was Command T, edit transform, and I'm making it the head, I'm transforming the head, not the nose. So I'm gonna hit escape. So here's a little bit about transform tools. Edit, transform, I want to be on the nose. Edit, transform, scale. That's going to scale everything up equally. And we'll just stop that for that, just so you see it. And then you see that bounding box, that means that it isn't engaged. If I hit escape, it'll go back to where it was. I got to hit enter to engage the transformation. Return enter. Now there's other transformation tools here. Transform, scale, rotate, skew, distort, perspective, and we're going to come back to these. And all these, a free transform, or these warps, and we're going to come back to those, but that's where they're all at. We just did the scale here, and the nose happens to be behind the eyes. So I'm going to shift the order. I'm going to shift the order. It's hard to get it on top. There, it's on top. Now it's above the eyes. All right, so now we're going to go, and since we used this tool before, I'm going to use the polygonal point-to-point tool, and I'm going to go click, 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 and I can go all the way around. And you got to go all the way around to get to the beginning, and you'll click, and there's your selection. Command D. That's one way to do it. Click, 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 click. Or I can use this magnetic lasso tool, and then I'm going to make this frequency up here to 100, and I never use this tool. And all I have to do here is just, I'm not clicking. I'm just dragging. And I got a high frequency, so it's kind of doing it nicely. And I'm trying to trace it. And those are anchor points. Those little squares. And if we're not going to get to the path tool in this class, but that's what they are. I never use this tool, except for when I'm demonstrating. As we go, you'll find there's better ways to do lots of things. There's more than one way to do. Double click. Oh no. Command Z, there. I want Command Z, and it undid it to the point where I got my selection back. So here I've got to go back down to the background layer, Command 0, fit it out, Command J, that makes it a new layer. By the way, if I just went to my move tool and moved it, it had cut a hole in it, and it's on the background, it's just floating on a background layer, and that's not what I want. So that's why I use Command J. That's just floating on its background layer. So I can go up here, new layer, okay, and is that up in the new layer? No, it's still floating. So I have to go Command X. Oh, I'm trying to do, it's got to be it's on the background layer. Command X, deselects it, go to my new layer, Command V, there it is. Finally, I got that. You can see why I go Command J, because that's not an efficient way to make this work, is to select it, cut it, and paste it on a new layer. But you can do it that way. There's more than one way to do things. There's the bow tie. I want some eyebrows. So I'm going to go do use this selection tool in another way. I'm going to go to rectangular selection tool, and you can see that, by the way, that if I was to, I could use this tool. You can see it's awkward to get that. I could use that object tool, which would get it really quick, and I'll show you. Beautiful. The old way would be to do it this way. is to make a selection. Why am I telling you the old way? I don't know, because this is the way you had to do it. Make a selection. There's white, there's all kinds of color. So I can't really use this this quick selection tool with a tolerance of this magic wand tool with a tolerance, because I got so many colors. I can do this quick selection tool, and I can do it both ways, because I can use this. I'm backing up here, magic wand tool, and take the tolerance down to 10, and come down here to the selection and hold my option key down. That's minus, so I'm just minusing the white. Perfect way to make that selection. That's kind of convoluted. That's the way we had to do it before this made everything easier. That's the object tool, that really made everything easier. So there we go. I'm gonna go V, Command J, Command 0, move the, oh, what just happened? I went too fast. Command Z, I duplicated the layer. Oh, see, I went too fast. I said, oh, great, I can go fast because I'm recording this. And I went too fast. And I made a mistake. Everybody makes a mistake. I'm gonna try that again. And I'm gonna go over here and say, what's the selection? That's the selection. That's not. Okay, I'm all right. So I'm gonna go now, Command J, and there, that worked. I'm gonna go to the move tool, move this over, put it on top of the squash. Oh, what happened to it? I grabbed it and it didn't grab. So there it is, eyebrow, option, duplicate, edit, transform, flip horizontally, and there we go. Now if I wanted to give it a little character, I'd go edit, transform, rotate. Now he's kind of lifting his his eyebrow. He's under the nose. I gotta put that. This is where you need to have names, because I gotta find where the nose is. It's up top. There we go. So now we're getting close. We're going to go and I'm gonna go put his hat on, and I'm gonna go and I want to see if this. I actually have not done this with this object tool. There's another way to do it. I'm gonna do it the other way as well, but I'm gonna try it this way. Now the problem with this is got a bunch of color in it. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. This is why we got to have our layers going on at all times. I got to look at my layers. Everybody makes that mistake one time or another. I'm gonna come down here and look at that and select that. It worked really well. Unbelievable. It means that I don't have to teach all this other stuff like this, but I'm going to teach it anyway. I'm going to make a selection here, and I'm going to go to my magic wand tool. Either of these will work. I'm going to hold my option key, that deselects, and I'm going to take the tolerance up to 20. Option, click, click. So I'm deselecting all of these colors, and that is allowing me to select that mushroom. That's the way we used to have to do it before that other tool object showed up. So there's different ways to do it. Command J, Command 0, V, hat, or in front of it. All right, I'm almost done. I want to get the ears away from the rind. So if I go, now this is where this object selection tool is not going to work. Because it goes only in a rectangle. Well, maybe it will work, we'll see. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer again. didn't quite get it centered. The object can't find an object to select. Might not be enough edge contrast. That's the deal. That's why that doesn't work in all instances. But I can go like this and quick selection tool and bring that down.
I think you're still on layer 1, not the background.
Oh, thank you. There we go. Thank you. Because it's always easy to make a mistake. And why I tell myself, Jim, you've got to have a look at your layers palette at all times. You got to know where you're at, or else you're not going to make the right layer. It's going to be confusing. So I'm glad that I'm making mistakes, so you know that everybody, even somebody that's been doing this for 20-some years, makes mistakes. Command J, it's part of the process. Command 0, V, move this over, edit, transform, rotate. Now I could rotate that way. Oh, edit. That's not what I wanted to do though. Transform, rotate, 180. Oh, perfect. And then I want to option drag, edit, transform, flip horizontally, beautiful. There is my guy. There's my guy, except for the mouth. This tutorial is one of the very earliest tutorials in Photoshop when I started. I just saved it. And there is text in your folder that you can look at if you so choose, but it's not really the way that I am doing it after all these years. But it demonstrates the same thing. So here we go with this guy here, and maybe I use the magic wand tool with a tolerance of 20. I've got to be on the background layer and click tolerance of 60 because of all these colors. Click Shift. Oops, didn't work. Let's try the quick selection tool. A little bigger. This will probably work. Click. Perfect. Background color. Command 0. Command J. Control or Command V. And I don't know what PC what that keystroke is. I have to look it up. And there I go. And there's my guy. He's kind of want to have a little crooked mouth. All right. So there we go. So that is demonstrates all these different tools. Try them out. That's your goal. That's your cause. You try them out. But here's what I want to, and you can save this on your own computer if you so choose. But what I want, so I'm going to go File, Save As, put my name on it, save on your computer, and then I'm going to say this goes to Jim. Flatten image, crop tool. Now make sure that the crop, this image size, by the way, I'm gonna go escape because you should always know when you start an image what the image size is. So let's go look. In fact, I think next class I'm gonna give a talk on this. This happens to be 9 and change by 6 and 5 by resolution 72 DPI, which was the default resolution for the original computer. Was 72, and that's screen resolution. We'll talk about that next week, I believe. So I want that to be, so that 72 is going to stay 72 because that's what it is on the image size. I want these to be empty. There's all kinds of opportunities here to do preset ratios when you crop something. I don't want to do that. I want to just do it by my eyeball, which is like that. So there, I cropped that. I got rid of all the other stuff, and I came over here, and I'm going to put my name on it, horizontal type tool, and the window character. This is where your different, similar to the same kind of thing as in Word. Your fonts are all, available, whatever you got in your machine. Your point size, the larger the point size, or bigger the type. The space between the lines, and then there's a bunch of other stuff that we could use. Some of the stuff is not necessary, but this spacing, these are 2 spacing opportunities. That is something that You might, all right, so there it is, but it's in white. Command A, I highlighted it. I got to change the color up here on the top. This options palette will change the color to whatever you want to color it. So I'm going to come in here. I hit the selection so it gets on this path right here. That's what that line is. And there's your name. So then you flatten that and you submit it to me. Tutorial 2. Tutorial 2. Questions? Everybody all right? Okay, thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the thumbs up. All right, one other thing. You're going to do this tutorial, and I'll get the video in an hour or so. And that's due next week. And if you have any questions, we'll go do the questions just like we did today, which was fun to do because we made some progress, and that's great. That makes me happy. But you're going to also look at your syllabus and say, see that when I connect, does this squares photograph show up when you, can you see that on your screen? Do you see my syllabus? Princess, what does that mean?
You said, can we see the syllabus?
Can you see yourself right now on my screen?
No.
All right, I didn't know that because I got another screen and I move this back and forth and I'm thinking that you're looking at all the people I'm looking at and you're not. Well, that's interesting. So I just learned that about Zoom after all this time. Anyway, you can see the syllabus, right? Yes. Okay. So week number 3, vegetable head. Lecture, relationship between image resolution and then we're going to do tutorial number 4. Oh, presentation. This is week number 2. Presentation of poem, painting, grid, mask. All right. You know the project that you just finished, the tutorial you just finished with the grids, the mask, all that. Everybody knows that, right? Yes. Give me a thumb up, somebody. Yes, we know that. Everybody's clear on that. All right. You're going to take those same. I'll give you an example. I don't need this anymore. I'm going to give you an example. I got an example somewhere. Miscellaneous. I did this in class, so it's not the most, I can make it better aesthetically, I'm sure, but this was a demonstration. I'm qualifying myself. We already did that. But anyway, that right there is what we did with this mask. And everybody understands that. Everybody said yes with their thumbs up. And I want to take that same concept and do it with make a poem using not painting, and this is flattened, unfortunately. I didn't follow my own instructions, Command colon. But this is Robert Frost poem. That is a photo I downloaded from the web. So I'm going to go do that just to make sure that I'm sure everybody knows how to do this. But Google.
Are we making a new one or just using the checkerboard piece we already did?
I'd like you to make a new one. Start from scratch and make a new one and use that last one. If you get confused, you can refer to it. So you start a new one, okay? Ice. Melting, cold. All right, so here I've got a bunch of ice. Because the poem I'm using is Robert Frost. So ice and whatever it was. What is it? Fire and ice. And so I'm going to pick an image that I like, but I got to make sure that it is as big as I can get. And this is 640 by 480. And I clicked on it again to see if it got bigger. And it doesn't look like it got any bigger. I can download it here. Let me see if I can download it. Buying stock photos. I'm interested in buying stock, selling my photos. Sign up. Oh, I don't want to do that. So this is, we can do this because we're not selling anything. We're just borrowing this. It's for educational purposes. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to grab that and drop on a desktop and see if I got it. Yes, I do. And I'm going to open this up. Open with Photoshop. And that was like 600 by, or was that, the pixel size here is really, really large. See that 3000 by 2004, that's really big. Let's see how that, let's see 3000. I'm gonna come up here to my ruler and go right click on the ruler and go pixels. This is only 650. See, it's a preview I'm pulling off. If I was to buy that, I would buy the big one, which was be 3000 pixels, which is really big. There's 3,000 pixels, so to go all the way to here, you see that's very small. World scroller bar, Command 0 will fit that in the window, and that looks big, but it isn't. Image size 8 by 6. That's not bad, by 72. My target is 150. 150. So okay, because this here image size is 150. So when you begin this project, it's going to be width 11 inches, height 850, well 8 inches, 8.5 inches, resolution 150. Okay, so it's going to be file, new, and those numbers get plugged in right here. Not pixels, but inches. 8.5, etc. Everybody got that. So I'm going to pretend that that's my new image, and I'm going to pull this over to see how it fits in it. That is going to work. So what we just learned is an image that is, because I don't have to scale that up much, that image that is image size pixels, because that's how it's going to come off of the internet. Oh, this is 1333 by 1000. That was, I thought it was 600. At any rate, that is, you got a number that looks like that, 1000 by 1000 or somewhere around there. You're going to have a good sized image. If it comes in and it's really small, and I should do that. See this, I can now go Command T and scale it up, and it's not going to lose a lot of resolution. Edit, transform, scale, Command T. Let's go back and do this just by demonstration. Next time, one more time. I'm going to come up here and go fire, just for a demonstration, and go okay. And I'm going to intentionally get something that is small. So I won't click here to make it bigger. I'll just drag that off, see if it works. Oh, drag that off. I think it worked. Move this over. And file, open, and unknown JPEG, open. This is its own file, image size 275 by 183 by 72. Oh, that's going to be too small. I'm going to show you why. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to drag that down. There it is. There. This is my inches, 11 by 8.5. And that one's going to be too small, and this is the reason. I'm going to go Command T or Edit, Transform, Scale. It happens to be Command T, and scale it up so it fits. And I hit return. And you see how blurry that is, everybody? Can you see that? Can you see the JPEG chunks here? Can you see, now watch this. You can see how sharp that is in comparison? Because I had to scale it up to make those that little teeny picture stretch out to be the same size. So one is resolution, that resolution you can see, I'm sure you can see it from, I'm not sure, but I bet you can see it, the difference from just looking at it like that. That's blurry, that's not. So you got to have a bigger picture because your images is not, we're trying to make an artwork here and you got to do the best thing you can with it, the best image you can get. So you've got to be a large image. On another issue, this right here is a watermark that makes it so that any professional can't use this. And we're going to learn how to get rid of those watermarks, but not now. So it doesn't matter. Those don't matter. That's what that is. So here I've got, and I don't have my, I've got these two layers, but I don't have my channel. I wonder if I go in, give me 1 second. Maybe I have another one with, all right, this is PSD, so it must have the layers on it. And it does, and it's got my channel. See, so there's the filing convention demonstrated. There's the image. All right, so there is the there's the poem, and I've introduced layer styles here that we don't know about yet, and some effects, that Ripley thing here that we don't know about yet, but we're going to. So far, we know about, there's effects. So far, we know about all of that. There's the mask. There's the top layer. There's the bottom layer. There's the mask cutting through the top layer, reveals the bottom layer. We're solid on this, right? Let me see what the syllabus says. Oh, all right, great. That's your goal, because we got a week to do this, is to get to this condition with a poem. Now, here we are. There's the poem. So all you have to do is get your poem and bring it in, and then I'll demonstrate the rest of the stuff next week. So that won't overload your skill set learning stuff. You've got the vegetables to do, and duplicating. If you find a poem first, I used Robert Frost, but you can use something else. Don't make it a too long a poem because it'll be easier to read if it's not a very long poem like the Robert Frost one. I've treated this type, and I've also put a background on it. Don't worry about that. We're going to do that next week as part of the class after we do the lecture and tutorial of Venice. So we'll do the Venice tutorial, which will learn how to get rid of the watermarks here. And then I'm gonna say, how's everybody doing with show us your new poem illustration using a grid of some sort and a mask. Yay, I'm done. Are you guys done? Any questions? Questions, please. Somebody say something. Somebody give me a question. No questions? Everybody understand it? Yes? Thumbs up. Happy? Happy enough? All right, then goodbye. We're done for the day. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, thank you.
Thank you.